Good morning, everyone, and I hope all of you are doing great today. First of all, thank you for joining this workshop. My name is Sahil Sawant, and I have completed my BTech in Electronics and Telecommunication Engineering from VIT Pune. And currently, I am pursuing my Computer Engineering from VJTI Mumbai. Over the past years, my primary area of interest has been artificial intelligence, machine learning, deep learning, and signal processing. I have worked on multiple projects involving AI systems, data analysis, pattern recognition, and intelligent applications. Today, we are bringing or beginning our journey into one of the most exciting technologies of our generation, which is artificial intelligence and data science. But before we begin, I would like to tell you all about EngiVerse, the platform through which this course is being conducted. All the recordings of this course will be available on EngiVerse. You simply need to create an account, sign in, and watch the videos. Complete the final quiz, and you will be able to earn a certificate for successful completion. The vision behind EngiVerse is simple. We wanted to create a platform that supports students throughout their engineering journey. Whether you are preparing for campus placements, gate examination, semester examinations, or technical interviews, EngiVerse helps to aim you. Currently, we are self-hosting more than 8 courses covering different technical domains, along with premium notes and learning resources. So I would strongly recommend you all to explore the platform and continue learning beyond today's session. Let's understand what it actually is helping behind all these intelligent systems. Look at the diagram. We can see is that AI is not just one algorithm. Instead, AI is a complete pipeline. Every intelligent system starts with the data. The first stage is called data ingestion. This is where raw information enters the system. For example, images, text, videos, sensor readings, GPS coordinates, financial records, all health reports. However, real data is little bit messy. Therefore, the next step starts with pre-processing. Here we clean the data and remove the errors, fill the missing values and organize it into a usable format. Once the data becomes clean, the system starts feature extraction. Think of the feature as important characteristics. Like for example, in face recognition, important features could be eyes, nose, facial structure, distance between facial landmarks, and after the features are extracted, the model enters the training phase where it learns the patterns. Then comes the interference, which means making decisions based on learned knowledge. Finally, optimization improves the performance continuously. This entire pipeline converts raw information into the intelligence, and that is exactly what modern AI systems do every day. Moving on to the next slide is one of the most biggest misconceptions among the students that AI, machine learning, and deep learning are the same thing. And no, they are not. Think of these like circles of Russian dolls. The largest circle represents artificial intelligence. AI is the broader field that focuses on making machines behave intelligently. Inside AI comes machine learning. Machine learning is subset of AI. Instead of explicitly programming each and every rule, we allow machines to learn the patterns from the data. Inside machine learning comes the deep learning. Deep learning is a specialized technique that uses the artificial neural networks with multiple layers. So remember the hierarchy. Artificial intelligence is the umbrella. Machine learning is one way to achieve AI, and deep learning is one way to achieve machine learning. If someone asks this question during interviews, this simple explanation works perfectly. Now, let's talk about AI itself. Artificial intelligence is essentially the goal of creating subsystems capable of performing tasks that are normally requiring human intelligence. Look around us. There is ChatGPT. Then there are which generates the text. Then there are self-driving cars which make driving decisions. Then we have facial recognition that unlocks using smartphones. Then we have recommendation systems to suggest movies. Voice assistants that answer our every questions. All of these belong to AI. And once you notice something interesting, these applications look completely different, yet all of them attempt to replicate some aspect of human intelligence. That is why AI is considered to be the ultimate objective. It focuses on making the machines think, reason, and understand and assess the human values. Now, if AI is the goal, the machine learning is the method to achieve that goal. Machine learning teaches the computers to learn the patterns from the data. Instead of writing thousands of rules manually, we provide few examples. The system identifies the patterns and creates its own model. Let's take an example. Suppose we have house features like area, number of rooms, location. Machine learning learns the relationships and predicts the house prices. Similarly, student study can predict grades. Medical reports can predict diseases as well. This process is simple. The input goes in, the pattern recognition takes place later on, and what we get is the output. The quality of output depends heavily on the quality of the data that we have used. And that's why data is often called the new oil. Now we move into deep learning. Deep learning is inspired by the human brain. The brain consists of billions of neurons. Similarly, deep learning uses artificial neural networks. The difference is that these are mathematical neurons rather than the biological ones. Deep learning excels when dealing with huge amounts of data. Applications of deep learning include image recognition, speech recognition, natural language processing, autonomous vehicles, medical imaging, and even satellite image analysis. One reason deep learning became popular is because it can automatically discover complex patterns that traditional algorithms struggle to identify. Today, the technologies like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, Midjourney, and autonomous driving systems heavily depend on deep learning architectures. Now, let us compare every table side by side. Artificial intelligence focuses on mimicking the intelligence. Machine learning focuses on learning patterns from the data, whereas the deep learning focuses on learning through neural networks. You can think of it like transportation. AI is the destination, machine learning is the vehicle, and deep learning is the high performance sports car with which the vehicle categories. Every deep learning model is machine learning, and every machine learning model belongs to an AI. But not every AI uses deep learning. This distinction is very important and often asked in interviews and competitive exams. Now, let us study the anatomy of neural networks. This slide shows a neural network. Suppose a bank wants to approve a loan, and the inputs are age, income, experience. These values enter an input layer, then they are passed through hidden layers. Hidden layers perform mathematical operations and learn the relationships. Finally, the output layer produces a decision. Loan approved, yes or no. And the real magic happens in the hidden layer. This is similar to how humans learn from experience. The more the examples the network sees, the better it becomes at making the predictions. Every machine learning project revolves around three concepts. The first one being the features, the second being the labels, and the third being the dataset. Features are input variables like age, salary, height, weight, marks, income. Labels are answer to what we predict. Like for example, pass or fail, loan approved or rejected, disease present or not. And a dataset is complete collection of features and labels. Whenever we start a machine learning project, the first question should be what are my features, what are my labels, and once you identify these two things, the problem becomes much easier to solve. Now comes the one of the most important concepts in a deep learning. When we never train and test on the same data. Imagine learning answers before exam. You may score perfectly, but won't actually understand the subject. Similarly, a model trained and tested on the identical data can memorize rather than learn. Therefore, we split the data. Typically, 80% training and 20% testing. Training teaches the model patterns. Testing evaluates those patterns to generalize on the unseen data. This process helps us to determine whether the model can perform effectively in real world situations or not. Ultimately, every machine learning model exists to make predictions. Once the training is complete, new unseen data enters the system. The model applies everything it has learned. Then it generates an output. This output may be a class label, a probability, a recommendation, forecast, or a decision. Whether predicting diseases, stock prices, customer behavior, rainfall, traffic conditions, and the end goal remains the same. Transform the data into actionable predictions. Now let's summarize the entire journey. We began with a dataset. The dataset is divided into features and labels. The data enters neural networks. The network processes the information through multiple layers. Then the training occurs, testing validates the performance. Finally, unseen data enters the model and the model generates different predictions. This complete life cycle transforms raw data into intelligent decisions. And that, in a nutshell, is the foundation of artificial intelligence. So today we explored how the machine works, why deep learning is more powerful, what neural networks look like, how the data sets are organized, how the models can be trained and tested, and how predictions are generated. This foundation will help you understand everything we have to cover in the upcoming sessions. Thank you everyone for your attention. I hope this session gave you a clear picture of how AI systems are built from ground up. And don't forget to explore EngiVerse, watch the course recordings, attempt the final quiz, and earn your certificates. Thank you, and let's continue our journey together.